to this week's episode of the High Level Release Radar, where we recap all of the new releases that rolled out this week. Ryan, here we are. It's a vacation Friday for me, but I was not going to miss the radar.
Well, thanks for hopping in. We really appreciate your dedication to the Release Radar. We've had a lot of questions when it's going to be going live, everybody wanting to attend the live version. So I hope everyone made it.
I mean, it's the highlight of the week. I'm not missing it, that's for sure. So let's make sure that we are live and streaming. As always, if you can see us and you can hear us, please say hello. All right, I do see us streaming. I'm going to share us into the group. And High Level Official Community. All right, I think we're there. So let's turn on our chat so we can see all the shout outs as they come in. Pretty solid week of releases from what I can recall, at least early in the week. I know that I missed a few, so I'm excited to see the new stuff. So what do you say we dive in?
Let's do it.
All right. First release of the week. Choose email templates for manually issued certificates. Okay, I hadn't seen this one, but this is just more and more control over system emails and whatnot.
Right, so imagine you're maybe giving a live course and you've got a list of people that you want to issue the certificates to. You can send them via email, of course, but now you can customize that template, send it right from that specific certification.
Yeah, I love this. So basically everywhere in the app, if you can't already, you're going to be able to select a custom email template and just edit it without having to leave, which I think is awesome.
Yeah.
Love it. Next up, currency and conversion value in Google Ads conversion action. That is a mouthful of an update, but pretty darn important.
Yes. So if you're running a kind of Google Ads, a lot of times there's going to be currency conversions. And so you're going to be able to, well, currency values and then conversion values. So it'd be, you know, what you're paying to get a certain result. And that's all available to view within the ad manager. So again, more and more ability with the ad manager controls and especially in workflows as well.
Nice. That's awesome. I know that Haplin on our team is playing with the Google Ad Manager, working on a new course, so you should see that roll out very soon. And yeah, so, and again, hopefully everybody knows we have an ad manager inside of High Level, so you can launch Facebook, Instagram, and now Google Ads without having to leave the platform. WhatsApp got another update this week. We have failure message fallback to SMS. This one is really fantastic. Ryan, I don't know if you've played with WhatsApp much, but I know firsthand the pain of this. And let me see if I can articulate it. At first it was like, well, why would they be failing? And there's a number of reasons. Get this, Ryan. It is so stupid how Meta does so there are marketing templates and there are utility templates. And the marketing templates, they don't want people to get too many marketing templates in a day. So let's say you wake up and you get a marketing template from 5 companies and Meta decides, well, 5's the limit. And then the 6th company sends you one, it just doesn't deliver. Not because that company sent too many, but because the receiver had already received too many. And so it fails. And so with WhatsApp, it's a very interesting scenario. It's not like SMS, where you might want to plan on, if it fails, hey, send an SMS out, or if it fails, wait and do something else tomorrow or whatever. But now it's built right into the action. So if you've been playing with WhatsApp and you've been dealing with what I'm describing, you're going to be pumped that at this new action update.
Yep, that's exactly it. I wish Apple had a similar feature for phone tabs, because my mom had 500 Safari tabs open the other day and wondering why her phone didn't work. So.
Oh, that's funny. I think we have a few of these WhatsApp updates this week, right? So we'll probably see another one. Okay, here we go. WhatsApp V2 workflow action. Yeah, this is awesome. So check this out. We've got the video. We're selecting our template. And if you add buttons, right, it's going to branch it out right there. Yeah. Yeah. This is awesome.
So that's called smart branching. So it will depend on the templates and everything, and then choose it will pre-configure all the different routes that they can go down so that you can action off of that.
Yeah, this is awesome. So I know the team, we were doing international events this year. We're working with WhatsApp a lot. And so it was fun to sit down with this team and kind of talk through the frustrations of this stuff. And they came up with some awesome solutions where the branches are built right in and you can toggle the branches on and off, but you don't have to go use if-else conditions and build your branches yourself. So really great work by the team. If you're using WhatsApp, check it out. Let us know what you think. And let's check out our next update from the week. Build recipient segments in email campaigns. This one is very cool. I feel like this was like last week. It's been, such a week, Ryan, but explain to us how this works. You don't have to leave to create new segments, right?
Yeah. So before, I was kind of highlighting in the first part of the video, there are some pre-built ones that kind of make sense generically, but then you can customize and build your own on the fly. So you can say like, well, I want a segment that has like customers with this tag and doesn't have it with that, and different types of conditions like that. And so really what you're getting at here is instead of having to go build the smart list and then reference the smart list back into the email campaign, you can just do it in one single screen. And just for that email send. I mean, maybe you're not going to want to have to reuse the smart list over and over again. So it keeps your smart list nice and tidy, and your email campaigns flexible.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually really powerful and a really nice quality of life that you don't have to bounce back. Like you said, go make a smart list. You can just do it on the fly right here. And I love how it's just like built right into the UI there. Yeah. So really nice update there on the campaigns. We've got our first check-in from Joshua Knight coming in with a question. Any idea where we can get forms inside of the mobile app? Josh, what do you mean by that? Like, I don't think you want to build forms in the mobile app, but maybe view all the submissions without having to go to the different contacts. I could see that being an ask. So let us know, and we'll get that over to the mobile team for sure. Next update, extend advanced filter in workflow list view. What the heck is this one?
It should have been extended, I guess. But when you're going into the workflow area, you've got your list of all of them. If you're like us, you have a bajillion of them. And you want to be able to filter and sort of like create smart lists. So now we have even more filtering for that so that you can get the exact type of workflows, even based on certain triggers and actions, and really slice and dice like what you're actually looking for. I know a lot of times I think like, okay, I know what this workflow is. I know what it does, but I just forget what it's called. And so this is a way to really cull through a big list of workflows and get to the ones that you need.
Got it. So we added sort of more optionality to the workflow list filters. Got it. Nice. Yes, that can be such a pain when you can't remember what you named a workflow. So you got to go figure it out by what it actually does. Our next update from the week, we have orientation badges and dimensions in media storage. I love this one. Gives you all the info you need without actually having to click in, right?
Yeah. So the design challenge here is that we kind of wanted to do this mosaic thing, but that wasn't really working out as well. And so I think this is a good compromise where you don't have to open it to see what it is, but you get a nice clean grid of what the images sort of look like. And you can see which ones are portrait, which ones are landscape, as well as the dimensions of each of them without having to open anything. Yeah.
Right on the hover. Yeah. That's great. So hopefully everybody can see what we're talking about. You got that little icon there. It's either going to be a rectangle, a square, or like a vertical rectangle so that you know the orientation. Is that the right word? The proportions of the image without actually having to open it up and figure that out. So might feel like a small one, but if you work with media a lot, it's very nice to be able to know that without having to like waste clicks getting in and out of there. Great update from the Media Library team. Prospecting got an update. We now have report layout customization. This one is actually massive. I think this is something I've been waiting a long time to see roll out. Ryan, talk to us about the significance of being able to have this level of control over your prospecting reports.
It's huge because like every agency is going to be different, right? Like maybe you focus primarily on SEO. So you want those types of sections of the prospecting report to be at the very top. So you can now reorganize where they sit in the report. And then there might be things that you just don't want to highlight or just don't want to talk to because, as we all know in marketing, a confused mind says no. So if you can focus their attention on the main things that you want to sell them on, or to get them to pay attention to first, that's what this allows you to do.
I'm confused. Love that, Ryan. Is that an original, or is that a fortune cookie that you?
It's probably a Dan Kennedy thing.
I think you nailed it on the head. I think, when the prospecting tool first rolled out, I was like, I love this, but I know that there's going to be agencies that's like, well, we don't do SEO, so we can't use this because we don't want people asking us how to fix their SEO problems, and vice versa with other features and whatnot. So now you can toggle that stuff off. Like Ryan said, you can reorder it. And so this is a really powerful way. Hopefully everybody knows that with the prospecting tool, if you're on like the premium version, you get an embeddable widget. And so at our agency, we used to generate a lot of leads by having a widget like that, where somebody could come to your website and say, I want a free marketing audit. The report runs itself, and now you have a new lead, right? And such an easy conversation to have, because you show up with this report of all those things that stink about their business and their website, and you already know that they want help fixing those things. And so it's a really powerful way to generate clients and generate easy sales conversations, I would say. So check it out. You can move it around, fully customize it, and it's never been more powerful. Let's see what our next update from this week was. We have Google Ads support in template library. So now there are templates for your Google Ads, making it even easier to get them launched.
Yep. And more to come on that, but this is a good start.
Nice. A question for Steve. Ryan, you might know the answer to this one. Hey guys, is there a way to add text to the end of the form when it's not completed, saying that there are missing fields? I'm having issues with long forms. Correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan, but if the fields are required, doesn't it throw an error basically saying you need to go finish the required fields?
Yeah, it definitely should. Another suggestion there is, if you've got really long forms, add slides, use surveys instead. It's a very similar functionality, but sometimes just like slicing it up makes it easier. Especially if maybe you forgot a couple things and you got to scroll back and find where they were. When you section it out, it makes it a lot more concise.
Yeah, that's a great suggestion. And another one might be, can you use logic to hide some of the fields that aren't necessary unless they answered something, you know what I mean? So oftentimes it's like, do you want to receive text messages from us? If no, then there's no point of even showing the phone field. You're just making your your form longer, right? So maybe you can prune it down that way as well. Next update from the week, we now have a school importer for HighLevel communities, aka Collab. So if you have been using School, you have clients using School, and you want to migrate them over to HighLevel but not deal with the pain of having to lose things or manually move things over, we now have an importer. You can just run it and it'll suck it right over.
Yep. Piece of cake.
Pretty convenient. Piece of cake.
Yeah, that much is so easy.
And it looks great as well. So yeah, test it out. This one I'm so excited for. So Content AI got a major upgrade on the imagery side of things. We now use Imagen 3 support with enhanced image generation pipeline. The images look, oops, I didn't mean to do that. Awesome. If you've been playing with AI images for a while, things like text have been a challenge up until very recently. And check out that prompt. We wanted I'm assuming we're going for like a Harry Potter theme swag here, and it nailed it. So this is awesome. Have you played with this one yet, Ryan?
I have, and in fact, there's an image at the end where that was actually generated with this. So I'll show you.
Oh, I love it. Is that on our coming soon preview?
It is, and the big highlight here is the text. Like, it was always a total mess. It looked like an alien wrote it. It was kind of cool. Now they have fixed that. So amazing job to the team integrating it right away. I mean, I think this release from OpenAI happened like maybe a week or so ago. So really quick.
Yeah, the team was on it.
Into our app as well.
Absolutely, great job. Super pumped up on that. We now have this is an awesome revamp to the email campaign statistics screen. If you haven't checked that out, you get so much great information over there. It got a UI overhaul, so it looks fantastic. we have multiple screenshots of this,
We
Ryan,
do
or is it
not
just
of
this one?
I just put these two separate ones in. There's more stuff in there, so go explore. But the main highlights is that you show everything up to 90 days. You've got accurate graphs, overall summary, engagement analysis, conversion over time, and then for SMTP servers, it's now showing an NA because it would not be applicable for delivery because we can't track SMTP. So those are kind of the main highlights. And then for those of you with big numbers like us, there will be 1,000 separator in the numerical values very soon.
I saw you call that one out. And a huge shout out to the team. If you're watching, they know that I have been beating them up for months, if not years now, over what I called the old Skittles design. It was just a rainbow of colors across that dashboard, and now it looks fantastic and nice and modern. So thank you so much for the great work. I think it looks fantastic, and I think our customers are going to love it as well. Next up, a book a call button for Ad Manager. And so I'm assuming this is like one of the ad actions that you can, oh no, this is if you want to talk to the team. Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. So this is for agency owners only. So fear not, end customers are not going to see this. There is a nicer page on the way that I've already designed and is in draft mode. So anyway, it will be a really quick, easy way to get on with the Ad Manager team to help troubleshoot configuration, any kind of issues you're having there. And they only do Ad Manager stuff. So they're pretty busy, but get on the calendar and they'll be on it.
That's awesome. I love that. Hop on with the team. If you want to, explore Ad Manager, if you're having trouble getting it set up, hop on with the team and they will help you. New shout out coming in from JW from a small country called Los Angeles, California. First time catching this live. Keep up the good work. Yeah, baby. Thank you, sir, for dropping in. Glad you were able to catch us live this week, and thanks for the shout out. We got another one just came in from Pascal. Dope. All right. Hopefully that was the Ad Manager button, but glad you're digging it, whichever update it was. The next update was brand voice now in brand boards. This is really cool, Ryan. Walk us through what this means.
Okay, the biggest problem that we have with AI is that you've got to give it context for it to give you a good answer, right? It's like anything else, garbage in, garbage out. So that takes time because then you got to explain this over and over again. And, oh, I want this image here, but then it creates an image that's not anything like you would use in your brand. With brand voice, you go into a little bit of hard work. I'll grant you that. You go into a situation where you outline and answer all these questions and do the hard work of like defining your brand. This may even be just good for you generally to do, even if you don't use it, right? Define like type of voice, the tonality, like are you playful? Are you a serious brand? Like who you're catering to? And that information starting very soon, we've already got it for Content AI, which you'll see on the next slide. But that's going to start to get integrated into other parts of the AI platform within HighLevel so that when you ask it for something, it already has all this context around who you are as a brand, what you like to highlight, what you don't, what you're great at, so that you get much better results without having to re-explain yourself every single time you put in a prompt.
Yes, very convenient. I love how it's hard work. I mean, we're not shoveling coal here, Ryan. We got to fill out a couple of things to set up our brand voice. But yes,
I saw that form and I'm like, there's a lot of questions.
But once you set it up, the nice part is that when you go use AI across the app, you don't have to continually tell it the same thing over and over again. It's just like brand boards for your logo, your brand colors. You can now basically set it once, and then around the app, you can just select it from your brand settings. So really convenient update. As Ryan mentioned, you'll see it roll out in a few more places in the near future. But right now, when you're in Content AI, you can just grab your brand voice and not have to go through all that hard work again over there in the content generation section.
They should have made it sound easier. My bad.
Pascal is watching from DRC Congo. Wow, that's super cool. I wonder what time it is over there. And we've got another shout out from Aftab, I hope I pronounced that correctly, coming in from Pakistan. Thanks for checking in. Happy Friday to you all. Let's check out our next update. Conversation AI is now available on the mobile app. This is a public beta and it looks freaking awesome.
Oh yeah. So great to see this come into the mobile app. Like everything, most things are coming into the mobile app, and this is one where it makes a lot of sense. So you can get suggestions. You can you've got the ability to turn on or off the bot itself. So maybe you want to take over the conversation, but you want it to reactivate like in a half an hour or whatever. You can configure all that stuff. So at any rate, really great implementation here, and I'm gonna love seeing how folks use this. But it should save your thumbs from having to type out a million different responses to things, and just pick the one that works the best. Keep moving on. Chase, you there? We might have lost Chase. All right. Well, the show will go on at any rate. I will see if I can maybe present my screen and we can keep this train rolling. Let's see here. We'll do this. We'll do this. And let's see if we can work some magic. Awesome. Yeah, so this was the next slide. Import transactions and orders via CSV. So this one is really nice if you've got a lot of historical data that's in another system and you're like, well, I want to see all the stats and everything, but it's not very congruent because, hey, I've got, all this other stuff that's in another system. So typically most systems you can export what's called the CSV file, and you can now import that right into HighLevel so that you have all that historical data. You can go look up invoices, transactions, stuff like that. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. I'm sure all the accountants are for sure. The mobile app got an update for the calendar. So there's now a list view for the calendar, which is really awesome. I like using list view a lot just because it shows kind of everything in a timeline without having to click into each day and kind of do all that. So if you've got a lot of events going on, this is probably a better view for you. So go ahead and check that out. So you've got the monthly and the list view now in the mobile app. Be sure to update your mobile app too. Sometimes you got to go into the App Store or the Play Store and pull a refresh, but go ahead and update that. The mobile app also got an update with the social planner. So now we have what's called smart watermarking, which sounds amazing, and media optimization. So this is something that these guys were already available within the desktop app, and now it's coming to the mobile app. So when you take a photo or video or anything, it will automatically optimize it for each specific channel because, of course, everybody's got different requirements. We all have to be different. So it'll help with that a lot. So you get a lot less errors when you're posting from the mobile app. Next up, we've got an update for the LC plugin. So this would be for WordPress websites that you want to use the functionality of the chat widget on your WordPress website. So you would use the LC plugin for that. And one of the functions for the LC plugin is the chat widget. And now it supports multi-chat. So that would be like the ability to have either SMS or a live chat that the customer could choose which ones that they wanted. So anyway, go ahead and check that out. But yeah, you can select exactly the type of widget that you want. Next up, we've got calendars, multi-location, and MS, otherwise known as Microsoft Teams support, and personal booking links. So this just gives you the ability to do basically everything that you could on the desktop version right into the mobile app. And I think one of my favorites is just being able to grab that personal booking links or booking link right in the mobile app. Sole prop A2P registration. So this was a relaunch. Again, I wish we controlled all the strings here, but we often don't. And so some of the regulatory changes came down where they needed more things for sole proprietors, otherwise known as sole props. And so if you don't have like an actual legal entity business, you can now register as a sole proprietor by using this option that you're seeing here on the screen, and it will walk you through the entire process. Funnels and websites autosave enhancements. Okay, this was something that we rolled it out last week. We got some feedback on it. We had our own feedback on it. We made a number of changes that makes it way faster and less intrusive. However, there are some people that just really don't want it. So we're coming up with a solution for that. But in the meantime, if for whatever reason you've got some huge, massive page that it's kind of messing with the performance, you can go into labs now and disable that if you'd like. So just keep that in mind. But I will say I've tested the new one. It's way better, way faster, and the team made short work of all of that. Enhancements. So we've got a couple of things here. The VCF file support or upload support for media storage. So this one's really big for if you've got VCF files, which are essentially contact cards, and you want to be able to host them in media storage and use that link somewhere else, you can do that. Looks like Chase has rejoined us, so we will continue on here. But Chase, we're just talking about the next item on our list, which is 71% faster load times for the payments pages.
I saw that. Sorry, I think we had a Starlink reboot or something. Perfect timing. But I remember seeing that one roll out. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I have tested that on a couple of live accounts, and basically every payments thing, like invoices, payment links, all those things are super fast now. They put in some racing fuel into the tank or something. We lost Chase again. Who knows? He's on an island somewhere in the North Pacific, I think. I don't know. App Marketplace. Now we have stronger app review process for new app launches. This was something that it's part of a very large effort that we're putting into the App Marketplace to make it the best place to extend the functionality of HighLevel. So if you didn't know, the App Marketplace is a marketplace full of apps that are developed by third parties. And we've got a lot of really great developers in there that have put a ton of work into these small little features, whether they're a widget on the website or they're a workflow action or they work with the calendar or whatever it is. They help connect things generally that would be like a third-party integration. They help connect it in a really strong way that's native to HighLevel. And that's great and everything, but sometimes there's some apps that aren't that great. And so some of the feedback that we had received is like, hey, we need like more stringent review process to make sure that the apps that are in here are the highest quality that they can be. And so we've got a whole new process around that. Won't bore you with the details, but just know that there's an entire team that we spun up around it and a lot more requirements that are much more stringent to make the quality as high as it can possibly be for the users. Public APIs for coupon creation and editing. So if you interact with public APIs, you can now create and edit coupons programmatically. If you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. And now it is time for Chase's favorite part of the show, which he is unfortunately missing, but hopefully catches the replay. Just in time upcoming releases. I don't know about you, but I am fascinated by this idea that Amazon or your local pizzeria can like drop off a package to you via drone. Maybe scary in some ways, but you know, I'm kind of a futurist, so I think this will be cool. Couple of things coming up soon. We've got improved analytics for courses. This is something that internally we definitely needed. One of which is the ability to export assessment scores for an entire, or for all assessments, and you can kind of filter through them that way, especially if you want to do it via a spreadsheet. We got another sort of like UI tweak and some back-end enhancements too that are coming to the course progress or product process. If you don't know, a product is sort of like the course, and then you can bundle different products or courses into an offer. So it gets really specific into which course it is, and then of course the users that have gone through it, their progress, and so forth. And you'll be able to export that as well to use in any kind of external system you want to slice and dice some data. And the last thing that we're announcing is SIP integration for hardware phones. So some of you may know about this already, but we want to bring the ability for folks that still have offices and still have those hard phones to be able to plug into HighLevel's phone system. And so what I was alluding to earlier is that this image on the left was actually generated by AI, which I think is phenomenal, because although it probably would have only taken me, I don't know, 10 minutes to put it together, this took about 10 seconds. So props to OpenAI for their ability to recreate our logo with the right text and give me the phones that I wanted and just the way I wanted them to look. So with that, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. Happy Easter to those of you that celebrate. And we will catch you on the next Release Radar. Take care, guys.